Okay, so what we're going to be doing this week is if you already have your list of 20, I like to call that my hot 20 list. If you already have your list of 20 people that you are excited about working with Plexus or relationship building with them, then what you're going to do is, if you haven't made that list yet, make that list right now. It's your 20 intentional people that you're working with this month on either relationship building or signing them up on Plexus. If you have that list already, great. If you don't, make it now. What you're going to do today over the next 45 minutes is call people on the phone just to build a relationship. So if you are someone who's been doing Plexus for a long time and you are really wanting to work on your relationships, some ideas for today's tasks would be to see if someone wants to go to lunch with you today, or maybe text someone in your neighborhood and see if they want to go on a walk with you at 10:15, in an hour or so when this is over. Call someone on the phone just to see how they're doing. A sibling, a sister, whatever, a friend. I talked about how last night I called a friend that I haven't talked to in about 6 months, and she came over to my house and we visited for an hour. It wasn't about Plexus. It was just about friendship and connection. So today's task is to just connect with someone either on the phone or in person. If you have someone that like you want to talk to them about Plexus, then see if they can meet you for lunch and bring a stick of the pink drink for them to taste. Just doing things that are in person, face to face, or calling on the phone and talking is the key. Not necessarily about Plexus, but if you're just starting Plexus and you already have relationships built that you specifically want to share Plexus with, either the products or the business, I want you to get on the phone and talk to them about it or set up a time. And if you feel like Leah brought up a good point of, I feel like I can't just call someone on the phone because they might not answer. So what we suggested is do a text message and say, hey, do you have 10 or 15 minutes? I just wanted to call and catch up and see how you're doing. Or do you have 10 or 15 minutes? I wanted to share something with you that I've really wanted to talk to you about. So whatever it is, it's calling on the phone. It's texting someone to see if they want to go for a walk. It's just something in person, either a meetup or a phone call to catch up, or let's go for a walk at 10:15. This is such a great time of day because people are really just kind of getting going and deciding what they're going to do with their day. If you work full-time and you are someone who takes a lunch break, you could gather some of your work colleagues and see if they want to go to lunch, maybe a different crew than you're used to, so you can get to know new people. Maybe you'll share Plexus with them, maybe you won't. It's not about that. It's about relationship building in person today. So a lot of times when we do our Power Hour or our IPA challenges, we are focusing on relationship building rather than sending out Plexus messages. So when we're not using social media as our challenge this week, instead of relationship building by going to someone's Facebook page or going to their Instagram account or sending them a message through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, instead of doing those things, we're trying to get them on the phone, go to lunch, like your relationship building in person. Sound good? I think we lost Chelsea. She's already calling someone on the phone. Okay, so and then as you complete your tasks, we have 32 minutes left now. As you complete your tasks, what I want you to do is in the thread that you are most active in, whether it's the Emerald thread, the Ruby thread, Bev's team thread, Steam Machine thread, whatever it is, and here on the chat, as you're doing things, as you complete them, I want you to put it here in the chat so we can all be encouraged by the work that you're getting done. And I know it's awkward to get outside of your comfort zone and do these things in person, because so many of you are used to only using social media for these tasks. But doing things in person is going to make you so much more successful in a way you haven't experienced yet. In here, Jamie Foote put that she just confirmed a 4:30 appointment with a chiropractor to share about the business and the products. So she's marked that down as something she's checked off her list. And I see so many of you who are calling on the phone, and I can see you like laughing and smiling, and it's so fun to see you because I can tell that you are like connecting with people. So I'm gonna mute myself. If you have questions along the way, please feel free to write it in the chat. And also please remember to share the work that you're completing as you do it. So if you made a phone call and nobody answered, write down, made a phone call, left a message. Like whatever you're doing, I want you to check off each item that you are doing here in the chat so that we can all see it. All right? Go
Hey,
try.
I was already on the horn, Em. I was messaging. I'm trying to meet a friend at the pumpkin patch today. So yeah, I was messaging.
Awesome. Okay, write that in the chat.
Yo.
Leah just wrote, and I'll verbally share what people are writing in the chat as I see it come up. Leah Carlson said, I actually think this is a much better fit for me. I was so diligent about sending messages for the last 2.5 years, and it has felt so awkward for me for the most part. I love this. I'm so glad, Leah. As I'm sitting here with Jamie, she said she would rather see people in person and call them on the phone anyway. And that's what she's done, and she signed 16 people last month doing that. So, all right, I'm going to mute myself so we can all get back to work. Make sure to put your things in the chat so I can say them aloud.
I was just going to say that, like, my leaders in my team are almost all people I've met in person. So.
Same. All right. Emily Blodgett just said lunch set up with a friend on Saturday. She couldn't meet today, so they made plans Saturday. Awesome. Jamie Foote just said she just set up a lunch at Beans and Brew Sunday at 11. Yay, go team.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jamie, tell them what you're doing right now.
So we did a booth a couple weeks ago, and I have all of these papers that they have filled out. I think there's about 20 of them. And I've sent them all an email, and I've only had 2 responses. So I'm going to start calling them one by one.
Here we go.
So I just called one, and her neighbor is already an ambassador, and she went next door and talked to her the day after our booth.
Next. Okay, so there's a lot of work going on here. I'm going to read some catch up, and then Jamie's going to tell you what just happened on her phone call. So Rebecca Flores says, so far she set up lunch with a friend next week and Sunday dinner with a family they haven't seen in a while, in a couple of weeks. That's exciting. Chelsea Denby says, pizza party with some neighbors scheduled for Thursday, pumpkin patch with an old friend on Saturday, and rec center pool Thursday morning with a friend from school. Today my kids have dentist appointments, and their dentist is already an ambassador on my team, but maybe I'll take a couple sample packs for the others. Cranking this shiz out, Chelsea says. Okay, Jamie, share what you just did.
I called one of the ladies from the boutique, and she was very nice, and she wants to meet me on the 18th at 7 p.m. at her apartment, which, by the way, she gave me detailed description on how to get there. No mind the GPS.
And you're going to take a friend with you.
Good idea.
Yeah. Okay. She's going to take someone with her because I don't think we should be going to places of strangers.
I meant like
without backup.
She meet at a coffee shop, and she's like, sure, come to my apartment.
So maybe call back and see if maybe suggest to meet somewhere halfway. Maybe
I'll call to confirm on the 16th.
We'll see.
And see how she's.
We'll see about that. But yeah, make sure if you are going to meet at people's houses that you bring a friend. Never go alone to a stranger's house. Okay, carry on. Awesome work, guys. Okay, Lori Nielsen just said, this is great. Why didn't we do this a long time ago? I have a lunch date and a dinner date with friends next week, a craft day and a walking appointment with 2 other friends. You guys, okay, so what I am feeling so badly about is like, this is how I've been working my business the whole time. But it's hard for me to give assignments to tell you to do it when I'm doing an IPA challenge. So this is like opening my mind up on how I can coach you better and duplicate what I do better. And I'll be working that into the 3-day Blitz IPA challenge that's starting next Monday for you guys on the team page. So we'll do, we'll continue with our 10 days, our 10-day social media fast in that 3-day IPA Blitz next week, IPA challenge, and it will all be assignments that you can do over the phone, in person, without social media. Carry on. 10 minutes left. Emily says, date with 2 friends Friday morning. And Emily number 2 says, she sent out 4 messages for a play date and 2 of them said their kids were sick. Yeah, we don't want to hang out with them. But she does have 1 play date for this afternoon. Yay. Way to go, guys. Keep it up. Another thing that we're doing over here is if people aren't answering your phone call, we're sending a text message instead of leaving a voicemail. I prefer when people do that for me. When they've called me and I don't answer, if I have a missed call, I always go check my text messages first, because I'd rather do that than listen to a voicemail. So that's another option that might feel more natural to you when you're calling people and they're not answering. Monica said she's texted a bunch of long lost friends, no commitments yet, but The morning is still young. Okay, Nicole Rust says, and I think she hopped off after she said this. She said, I'm headed to the post office to send samples. I messaged a few friends and had some great combos, but my big win for today is I finally found someone who can take care of my kids when we go on the cruise. I cannot there. So Nicole earned the Bahamas cruise for Leaders Retreat. She said, I cannot even tell you how many friends, family, and nannies we've talked to about this, and no one has been able to help like a gazillion. Holy moly, this has been a massive stress these last 3 weeks. So thankful today. That's awesome. Yep, Nicole ran to the post office to send her samples in the mail. I've got to do that today too. Okay, guys, we have just finished our power hour. I'm going to stop the recording here. If you want to keep working, you totally can. I know for me personally, when I get into a groove, I really like to just keep going. So please don't let this stop you. Again, as a review for today, we called people on the phone. We set up appointments to go to lunch, to go for a walk, to catch up, just relationship building in person, either on the phone or setting up a time to meet. And I'm so excited. This is just day 1 of our 4-day non-social media power hour extravaganza, if you will, that we're doing this week. And I'm so excited. We're going to meet back here tomorrow for our, I think it's our lunchtime one tomorrow. I just want to verify before I say it, but I'm pretty sure we're tomorrow from noon to 1 p.m. Yes, tomorrow, noon to 1 p.m. will be our power hour. I know some of you work, and so that time will help you to be able to attend. If you cannot attend, even just listening in on your phone to hear the assignment, the first 15 minutes, and then you could do it later. So hopefully you can at least tune in, even if you have kids that you have at home. Hoping you can at least tune in for those first 15 minutes to receive the assignment. And then we'll work for the next 45 minutes and share our successes. And I can't wait to hear how your socializing this week goes off of social media. All right, guys, love you. See you tomorrow.